that he should be conveyed hence to some place of safe harborage, as thou dost advise. Wherefore, I pray thee to perform thy will in this affair, bearing in thy heart the consideration that the child is the most precious inheritance which I shall leave unto this land. All this, as was said, Uther Pendragon spake with great calmness and equanimity of spirit. And Merlin did as he had advised, and he and Sir Ulfius conveyed the child away by night, and no one but they wist whither the babe had been taken. And shortly afterward Uther Pendragon was seized with the sickness as Merlin had foretold, and he died exactly as Merlin had feared that he would die. Wherefore it was very well that the child had been taken to a place of safety. And after Uther Pendragon had departed from this life, it was likewise as Merlin had feared, for all the realm fell into great disorder. For each lesser king contended against his fellow for overlordship, and wicked knights and barons harried the highways as they listed, and there levied toll with great cruelty upon helpless wayfarers. For some such travelers they took prisoners and held for ransom, while others they slew because they had no ransom to pay. So it was a very common sight to see a dead man lying by the roadside, if you should venture to make a journey upon some business or other. Thus it befell that after a while all that dolorous land groaned with the trouble that lay upon it. Thus there passed nearly 18 years in such great affliction. And then one day the Archbishop of Canterbury summoned Merlin to him, and bespake him in this wise. Merlin, men say that thou art the wisest man in all the world. Canst thou not find some means to heal the distractions of this woeful realm? Bend thou thy wisdom to this matter, and choose thou a king, who shall be a fit overlord for us, so that we may enjoy happiness of life once more, as we did in the days of Uther Pendragon. Then Merlin lifted up his countenance upon the Archbishop, and spake in this wise. My lord, the spirit of prophecy that lieth upon me sometimes moveth me now to say that I do perceive that this country is soon to have a king, who shall be wiser and greater and more worthy of praise than was even Uther Pendragon. And he shall bring order and peace, where is now disorder and war. Moreover, I may tell you that this king shall be of Uther Pendragon's own full blood royal. To this the Archbishop said, What thou tellest me, Merlin, is a wonderfully strange thing. But in this spirit of prophecy, canst thou not foretell when this king is to come? And canst thou tell how we shall know him when he appeareth amongst us? For many lesser kings there are who would fain be overlord of this land, and many such there are who deem themselves fit to rule over all the others. How then shall we know the real king from those who may proclaim themselves to be the rightful king? My lord Archbishop, quoth Merlin, if I have thy leave for to exert my magic, I shall set an adventure which, if any man achieve it, all the world shall straightway know that he is the rightful king and overlord of this realm. And to this the Archbishop said, Merlin, I bid thee do whatsoever may seem to thee to be right in this affair. And Merlin said, I will do so. So Merlin caused by magic that a huge marble stone, 4 square, should suddenly appear in an open place before the cathedral door. And upon this block of marble he caused it to be that there should stand an anvil, and into the anvil he caused that there should be thrust a great naked sword midway deep of the blade. And this sword was the most wonderful that any man had ever seen, for the blade was of blue steel, and extraordinarily bright and glistening. And the hilt was of gold, chased and carved with marvelous cunning, and inlaid with a great number of precious stones, so that it shone with wonderful brightness in the sunlight.